Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to share with you my recipe on how I make soft and yummy bread. This recipe is beginner friendly and I hope you try it out. My name is Oge and you're welcome to my kitchen. Let's get started. These are some of the ingredients that I'll use to prepare my bread. I have active dry yeast. You can use instant yeast. I have sugar. I'll use some of the sugar to activate the yeast. And I'll be using powdered milk for this recipe. Feel free to use liquid milk. I'll use margarine. You can also substitute margarine with butter. And lastly, I have egg, one fresh egg. I'll start by proofing my yeast, and to do this, I'll add a cup of water into my plate before going in with half a tablespoon of yeast and half a tablespoon of sugar. The essence of adding the sugar is to help activate the yeast. I'll give that a good mix until it combines properly. Always make sure that the water you're using to proof your yeast is warm water and not hot water. If the water is too hot, it's going to kill the yeast, and if it's too cold, the yeast will not proof. So always ensure that you're doing that with warm water. The difference between instant dry yeast and active dry yeast is that instant dry yeast can be used right away, but active dry yeast has to be activated. It has to be activated with sugar. So you simply dissolve the active dry yeast in a warm liquid until it dissolves. I'll use all-purpose flour for this recipe, but feel free to use bread flour if that is available to you. And I will use about 2 cups. I'll proceed to transfer the flour into my sieve and I'll sift properly. Always ensure that you sift your flour before usage. This will help get rid of unwanted particles. I'll pour in the flour into a bigger bowl for easy mixing, and to that I'll add in the rest of my dry ingredients. I'll go in with my powdered milk, sugar, a pinch of salt, and for flavor I'll be going in with nutmeg. Feel free to use cinnamon or any flavor of your choice, but I love the unique taste and aroma of nutmeg, and I'll be using about a tablespoon of nutmeg. I'll grate it directly into the flour. I'll give the dry ingredients a good mix until they combine properly. If you've watched up to this point and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit on the subscribe button to be part of this wonderful family. 10 minutes after I left the yeast to prove, I went back to check on it, and this is what I have. You can tell that your yeast has proven really well when the water becomes very cloudy and foamy. That shows that your yeast is active and it is very okay for baking, as shown in the video. I'll pour in my whisked egg and activated yeast into the flour mixture, and I'll keep mixing until I achieve a sticky dough. I added margarine at this point and I continued mixing. Achieving a soft and fluffy bread is determined greatly by the amount of work that goes into the kneading of the dough. You have to knead your dough properly. You have to knead until it is very stretchy, like the one showing on your screen. This can be a tedious job, especially if you're not using a machine, but you love the results. Kneading the dough can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. After kneading the dough properly, I'll grease my bowl with a little vegetable oil and transfer the dough back into the bowl. And then I'll cover this and keep it in a warm place. I usually keep this inside my oven and I let it rest for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. During this time, the dough will double in size. Note that I do not turn on the oven. I just put it there because it is very warm. So after about 1 hour, I brought it out and this is what I have. The dough has doubled in size. I'll give it a punch to release air bubbles and also return it to its original size. And then I will roll out the dough. You can stretch the dough with your hands, but I love to use a rolling pin. I'll roll it out for a few seconds and then I'll start rolling and tucking it inside. This step is self-explanatory, so just watch the video closely and you understand. I'll roll the dough and tuck it in properly. That'll prevent the bread from having a lot of empty space, or should I say holes, when it is done baking. But this step is self-explanatory, just watch and you understand. So after rolling out the dough, I'll grease my baking pan and transfer the dough back into the pan, and then I'll cover it and allow it to rest for about 30 minutes. If you're still with me up to this point, you're truly amazing and I'm so grateful. Please give the video a huge thumbs up if you've not done that already. Share this video to your family and friends. This bread recipe is super simple and you can achieve this yumminess with very few ingredients. So after about 30 minutes, the bread has doubled in size and it's time to transfer this into my preheated oven. I baked at 180 degrees for about 40 minutes. You just have to understand your oven. After 40 minutes, this is what I have. I wanted the bread to be very brown, but it almost got burnt. But that is not a big deal. It still looks super yummy, right? So we've come to the end of this video and I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm going to cut the bread into thick slices like this. This bread looks super soft and yummy. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share to your family and friends. Leave me your beautiful comments in the comment section. Let's engage in the comment section. I love to read your comments. And finally, subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Thank you all for stopping by and I would love to see you all in my next one. Bye.